sunrise to sunset. How far can I ride? We're gonna find out.
Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah.
The sunrise is my start line and the sunset is my finishing line. Now here in the UK, in the Northern Hemisphere, I have just 7 hours and 49 minutes of sunlight. How far can I ride? And where can I get to? Now that is the big question. Now, as you can probably remember, this is the start line to the last ride I did a few years back, racing against Mark Beaumont. Me on a time trial bike and him on an endurance bike. But this time, I'm doing the challenge solo, against the sun. Dawn till Dusk will present a very different challenge depending on where in the world you live and at what time of year. For some, it will mean an all-day epic right now, and for those near the Arctic Circle, well, you won't have seen the sun at all for a few weeks now, so, well, you can keep riding Zwift. Now you can just see the sunrise coming up behind me. Now, as I said, in Greenland, you wouldn't even seen that, and you'd be tucked up back in bed. If you're in Christchurch, New Zealand, well, you've got 15 hours and 26 minutes of riding time. So make sure you pack some snacks for a long ride. But for me, it's 7 hours to go. Now it's slightly dawning on me, excuse the pun, that I've bitten off more than I can chew. I've got an ambitious route of over 100 miles to do before the sunset comes. Is it too much for me? Can I manage it? Am I fit enough this time of year? And it's all the questions I'm quite asking myself. Who knows? My route takes me west from home towards my nearest mountain, the Tumble. Now there are plenty of climbs between here and there, but that's the big one. So it seems like a fitting place to aim for. So from my hometown of Tetbury in the Cotswolds here in the UK, through the rolling fields of England, over the River Severn and then into Wales, hunting for the biggest climb around. Just coming out of the Cotswolds lanes. The sun is not at its brightest, it's still hidden behind the clouds, but a long way to go still, which slightly worries me, because I think it's going to be quite a hard ride. Ah! There it is, the first goal complete, seeing the sunrise. Second goal, reaching my point, which is the tumble. Third goal, making it back before sunset. Game on. Oh, there's one in there as well. Well, I'm having a slight issue. I've done 46 minutes, so if you live in Bodo, Norway, this will be the end of your ride in 10 minutes. But I'm here in the UK, I've got, what, 7 hours to go. And slight issue, I've got multiple punches. Always be prepared, kids, even if you're running tubeless. Right, to the shop we go with my 8 punches in my rear tyre. Oh, this is never a good feeling when you're racing the clock. When you just feel that soft bounciness in that rear tyre. Slight change of tack, slight detour. I'm having to head to a local bike shop to try and get a new tyre. Because I don't know if an inner tune's even going to do the job. So after an untimely puncture, it was a quick detour to a bike shop where I got my puncture repaired and I was back on the road, heading for the Severn Bridge. Well, I have to say that was a slight spanner in the works. A few punctures, slightly behind time, but I'm back on the road and I reckon I've got about 5.5 hours to go and still a lot of miles to cover. Next stop, the bridge into Wales. My first major landmark, the Severn Bridge. This was my first goal, 25 miles in. It's 10:30, 2 hours of riding time. So, the Severn Bridge just behind me marks the border of Wales. The next 25 miles is headed to the tumble, to the mountains. And it's Welsh countryside from now on in, all the way till we hit the bridge on the way back. I'm a good distance in now, coming up to under halfway, so I passed Chepstow in the heart of Wales in Manon's hunting ground. Now it's about this time where the north of Finland, so if you're specifically in oomiee, then it's about this time where the sun is setting. So how many miles did you clock? I have to say I'm a bit behind schedule. I've clocked 40 miles. I've just made a terrible life decision and gone through the biggest puddle of water and completely soaked my legs. Not ideal, James. So a good view of the tumble. It's in touching distance now. It's coming up to 12:30. Midday, halfway. I'm about half an hour off time. So it looks like the tighter I am, the faster I gotta go. Just hit the tumble, 51 miles in. This brings back an awful lot of memories. I remember smashing up here back in 2014 with Ineos lined out, back then Sky, the British team, trying to show my colours. And I remember getting to this very place, to the bridge, and my legs falling off and then clambering all the way back to that summit finish. I thought I was as good as Simon Yates, but now I know exactly why I wasn't as good as him, who won that stage on top of the tumble. But now it's just me, the sun, and about to hit my destination. I just got to get my carcass up here. Woo! And this is my last push to get to the top. And then it's spin round back home. And I made it. The tumble in daylight. I made it. The tumble on the shortest day of the year. But the race is not done. I now need to get home. Five hours and 54 minutes has ticked by, so, well, if you're in Oslo, Norway, it's night, the sun's down. What did you clock? For me though, 2 hours left to go. And still, around about 35 miles. I think I got more than 2 hours, but it's still gonna be pretty tight. Here's a challenge to all of you watching. Where are you in the world? And would you ride the entire daylight hours of your shortest day? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to see where you're from. And just ahead of me, the Severn Bridge. Now that's a sight for sore eyes. Yeah! On the Severn Bridge. It's now the dash home. Back to England. And into a warm bar. Come on! I'm battling the wind now. I've done 86 miles, the time is 2:50. It's at this time that the shadow has hit the top of the UK. So John O'Groats, somewhere I've been with Mark Bono a few times, is now in darkness. Which basically means I am literally racing the sun. Oh, those brakes. Right, there it is. Dawn till dusk ride. Stop the clock and ride. I did 107 miles over the 7 hours I got in daylight. The sun's just about gone, so I reckon I timed that pretty well. I apologise for those of you in New Zealand, Christchurch, who are still riding and have still got a long way to go, only just about halfway. And well, I'm not that sorry, actually. You got warm weather. Anyway, what I have come away with is ice cold feet, very wet and muddy kit, and, well, a really hungry belly, because I haven't eaten enough. No cafe stops this ride. Anyway, if you enjoy this ride, give it a big thumbs up and let me know how you get on the shortest day ride in that comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video. Ooh.